Hello there, as you. Oh, I. Also, this is the new religion map just before I actually start. I just did Iberia, the Balkans, and the Germanic region, because why not? Anyways, as you remember last video, we saw all of Spain and the Germanic region get filled. This area became a bit more united, and we saw the green and blue team unite, then fall into a civil war, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. We see I don't know what color this is. Microsoft says dark green, this is like a teal color, but it's like on the bluer end. We see the teal country begin pushing into the green rebellious region, as well as into the red rebellious region. They wipe out this blue one, and cut this one in half. They begin pushing into the purple one, eventually taking one of the three cities. And since there's like nothing here, they just begin like freely pushing into this gold area. And they also begin pushing into this nation. Well, possibly nation to be. Now, there's something that I want to say about their puppet. They haven't had any rebellious movements. Why? That is for one very specific reason. There aren't rebellions in the nation. Well, there aren't rebellious areas in the nation. Or like the puppet. The puppet's rebelling away. I can't have it be that color. The puppet's rebelling away. No, I still can't have it. You know what, this is a good enough color. Never mind, now it looks like a puppet of that nation. I just can't find a good color, can I? Make it purpler? You know what, screw it, looks good enough. As you can see, like, all the rebellious regions are of the same. Well, they're sort of like. They aren't the same religion. There's like a split down the nation. The more eastern areas being linked to the blue religion, and the eastern areas being the green and French religions. And also, down here, they were the red religion, but now they've been node. And they're filled with not necessarily nationalism, but like they're filled with like a stronger urge to like reintroduce the religion. And even if there used to be many nations over here which absolutely hate each other, all those nationalities are united in one front to like end this nation. They begin pushing back against the forces, eventually managing to take this city. And then the green team manages to push out a bit, managing to take this city, just barely. And then we see something happen over here. We see Rome declare war on the Grand Nation. I don't actually know what the hell to call this nation, so we're calling it the Grand Nation because that sounds pretty sick. They don't necessarily, even if they are almost directly on the border of the two capitals, they don't directly go right for them. Instead, they encircle both, slowly starting to starve them into submission. That looks like a face. Two spearheads are made. They aren't taking the capital yet, as they're going to play the long game. They allow civilians, political figures, important people, they allow all of them to leave. Not the actual government, though. Like, provisional, like, people in the provinces, they're fine with them leaving. But the actual governments, they aren't having them leave. Not through their territory, at least. Nor through their occupied territory. They don't mind them going around, as they aren't holding much of a naval blockade. But they aren't letting them go through their territory, as they slowly want to gain more and more power and eventually take the capitals. They begin slowly pushing up, eventually taking these cities, and eventually people here flee, and eventually almost all of Italy, or almost basically all of the Italian areas, like the old Italian areas, have been taken. A naval landing from Corsica is made, and so was another. The second one connects up, and then so does the first one. A spearhead is made over here, encircling and capturing this city. And then this rebellious movement unites and begins pushing out slowly. Sorry. And then so does this one too. And instead of going out into empty space, they aim for these two cities, possibly even all four. Eventually they reach all of the Istrian border, manage to take this city, as well as this city, and then a large amount of the army is here, not like 20%, but like 5% of the army is here, which is like not much of the land, so that's very surprising, and they fall. This rebellious movement up here, they begin to expand out. And eventually, them and the green team, including the red team, they managed to cut this area and they managed to like sever this area from the rest, with the red team capturing the sea. Then the green team works its way up here, encircling a large amount of the army, like a good like 10, 15, 20%. Then over here, the Purple Nation manages to retake this city. Eventually, they then manage to reach to this Blue Rebellion. And then the Blue Rebellious Movement does a spearhead. So does this nation. And they both manage to occupy the sea, encircling another large amount of troops. Down here, we see areas slowly begin to fold over. And then up here, we finally see this group of the army fold over. This area over here, they managed to surrender. Well, not managed, they managed to get them to surrender. And now that's left is this central area, where we see even more rebellions pop up. The first one is the Mint Rebellion, which happens in this southern and like western area. The second one is this like eastern area. And finally, one large movement happens in the north of the country. And it doesn't take like half or maybe even like 2/3. It takes all of the northern area. Hey, wait a second, I recognize this shape. Anyways, eventually this remaining section folds over to the Romans. The blue team capital surrenders, and the green team is starved into submission, which is where I'm going to end today's video. And in the next video, you will see a peace treaty to this. If you're wondering why Istria, wait, Istria is the only nation. Yeah, Istria is literally the only nation in the alliance. They realized that eventually these guys were going to fall anyway, so they decided just to not. Anyways, bye.